So let us, today we will be taking up the file system objects and mostly we'll complete it. And tomorrow we'll be taking the database connectivity. I'm assuming that basic understanding of database is there for time being until we touch up the database in length. So that covers the entire Node.js basic flow, right? So we started with Java scripting, basic Java scripting. We started with uh, then we moved on to file system objects after loop conditional statements, all that. Once we completed those and we moved on to file system objects. Now after this we'll take up some scripting on this one. uh, just a second. Yeah, then we move on to database connectivity. With that, the basic structure is completed. Then we'll focus more towards Angular and other stuff. So in that, again, we'll cover the Node.js and all those components. It will be repeated till the end of the subject. We'll be repeating this Node.js and advanced some features of Node.js which we have not seen now. Those things also we'll see as we go. So more or less, maybe from day after tomorrow, you will have a full-fledged session on the web development. From Angular material, we start with Angular material. We'll describe about Angular components, etc. So for that, you may have to download the Angular material version into your local laptop. So prepare on that. So you can download the Angular from here. Angular downloads. For Windows means Windows. So from here you can download the Angular. CLI is the most important component. So you can download from the Angular IO, Angular downloads. Setup local angular.org. How can I download Angular download npm Angular CLI dot Angular IO.
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I will share my screen. Give me a second. Sharing my screen. I shared my entire screen. Please confirm once you are able to see the screen. So CLI,
Yes,
you
sir.
can download npm install Angular CLI. This is the way you just go ahead and start the project. These are all I will anyway take it up, but go through this preliminary things, go through these sites. I'm just putting it under questions. Just go through those so that we are pre-prepared before we start the actual project. So we'll be more towards it. So here we'll be concentrating on Angular components. We call it as components. Here also we'll touch upon .scss file, that is a equivalent to CSS file, but it is of more scripting. So that also we'll touch upon. So from here we'll start the actual one simple application. We'll take one base what we need to do. From there we start from that point. Okay, so make sure you all have that reference. Go ahead and any questions, please keep it ready so that we can use that questions as we go. Now I'm coming back to file system objects. Yesterday we saw how to read, how to write into a file. So we have used write file sync. As I said, this is first content has to be ready. The entire content is written onto the file at the same time. So that means you are keeping the disk operations open until the content is written. So right now I have given only two contents, like two lines. So sometimes you may have some KBs of size. The contents might come from some place. Like take an example of log rating. Log rating, how the content will be. content will not be in the way we expect. It can come suddenly, some bursting of logs can come. Sometimes it can come continuously. Sometimes it can come in burst. Sometimes it can come no data at all for few seconds or few minutes. Just again, suddenly it will come. So in those cases, how do we handle the file writing? That is called create file, write file stream. So that is the streaming operation. Streaming operation is very, very critical. So create, write stream. This is the very critical option that we need to use. So how do we do that? For that, I'll try to create there is one concept called set interval. Okay, set interval, the job of set interval is for the given specified interval, it will keep publishing the data. For example, set interval the syntax. This is your arrow function. No data, I'm not passing any data in the arrow function. So inside the function, I have a say console log printing every second. I just say printing every second. There is no thread.sleep in Angular, sorry, in Node.js, there is no thread.sleep. The reason is thread.sleep is for a synchronous operation and Node.js is an asynchronous operation. The time is in millisecond. So set interval, every 1 second, you keep printing this until I stop it. Until I stop it, you keep printing this every second. I just put for new date. New date is a function get locally, sorry, to local time string. This is a function again. New date is a function of date function. All date functions can be used with new date. So we'll talk about that little later. For timing, I just printing the time and printing every second with timestamp. If I just execute this, I all other codes I'll comment it. Already the previous codes are commented. This code also I'll comment it. All codes are commented. So now I'm just going to every 1 second, I'm just printing this line. File saved, run, debug mode. I'm running in debug mode. You can see now, every second it is keeps printing the data. I change it. Now I need to stop it. It cannot stop on its own. I need to stop it. It doesn't allow me. Stop debugging or stop. Process existed with code. I put 10 seconds here now. Control Fs. Run without debugging. Now every 10 seconds, he will start printing the data. So first print has happened at 48 AM, 48 seconds. Next data will come at 58 AM. Next data will come at 12:09, sorry, 11:09, 58, 08. 11:09:08 AM. So this is what generally you do it. This is I just stop this debugging. Yeah. So this is another feature available, set interval. Interval means for the specified interval, he keeps executing that command. Whatever is there in the 62 line number, he'll keep executing that. Why I have done this? I want to now in stream, I want to write a file. For writing it in stream, I want some series of data. I don't want junk data. I want some series of data. I want that to be printed. Assume that this is my data. This data, I want to print it onto the file. At the same time, I don't want the file to be always open, all those stuff. So in that way, I can use the concept called create write stream. So write stream is any streaming object, or you don't know when it will start, when it will end. At the same time, you don't want to lock the resources, so you can use the read stream or write stream. Streaming is very, very important concept in the Node.js thing. So create write stream, let write stream equals create write stream path. I need to give a path. I give the same path, not this path. Yesterday I created some other path. This path. This path I'll create, put it here. I'm not using uncommenting that line. I'm creating one more new line. So create a path. This path I'll keep it here, PTH. Then it has a options. So now I don't worry about content now. Right now I'm just creating the stream with what data path you want to give. Please note, take the help. Don't try to remember everything. It is very difficult to remember everything. So Node.js file system, if you put, you will get that proper file system object. In that, you just put create file stream. You will get that. Go there. I just go click here. So file stream, this is how it is. Create file stream, then options. So that is file handle. Create, I'm sorry. I'll go to 15. Yeah, fs dot file system path followed by options. Fs dot create file stream is what we are going to use. So path followed by options. Here you can notice that it is flagged. It is not flagged. Yesterday we have made a mistake here. So yesterday we made it as flagged initially. Then there was a error. It was not working at all. Then we made it as flag as per that document. So fs.filestream is what we are going to create here. So fs.filestream path options. Since I'm using the same file, I just put flags colon a append mode. So file stream is created. Now during this time interval time, right, code will not wait here. Please note down all this important point. This is the classic example of asynchronous. So first is it gets executed this line 61 line. It triggers the interval. Once it triggers the interval, it goes to this line and start executing 65, 66, etc. It will not wait for completion of this operation. That means it has triggered this job. Okay, so I created a file stream. I made a global variable write stream. Write stream is created a path, made that ready. Now I want use this data. I want to use this data inside my write. So how do I write the data? So I created a file. Now write stream dot write. Write state start error options FL stored option path. Read string, read line. Write open file dot open for w write. Write is for thing. So overriding write without write env can be reduced. Okay, that is fine. That is okay. Create auto close. It's write only, file stream dot write within bracket. You can write now whatever the content you want to write, you can write it here. So since I've registered it, I'll do one thing. I'll just register it above because I'm calling this interval. Here I'll just say call write to file. I'll just call this method with this information. With this information, I just call this method. Okay, that means tilde printing every second with curly braces at the dollar curly braces new date dot to locally time string. Okay, I just put this. I want to write, I'm creating a function now. Inside this function, I'll write it. So write to file is a function write to file. I put a variable string. Within this string, I now call this function, right? So call this function, right? Now please remember, I have not closed the file. I've just started the file write stream, and then this write stream is open the file in the append mode, and I'm writing to this file using this command. I'm writing to this file. Then somewhere I need to close the file. So that is very important. So what I'll do is, if I want to do that, there are several ways, because this interval, once you start the interval, it will keeps running until you close the program, right? Until you close the program, it will keep running. So before I close the program, I want to stop writing. That means I want to end that file writing. I want to end the file writing. Later, I want to close this program as well. So what I can do is, there are other way you can do it. That is called set timeout. Set timeout. I want to timeout after 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, I want to do the timeout. I want to write to the file every 5 seconds. I want to timeout after 60 seconds. So how do what I need to do? Write stream dot close or end. End is there, close is there. So I can do the write stream dot close. Import is there, right? Oh, import is not. Where is this import tag? Oh, here. I'll keep this enabled, okay? Otherwise, this will. That is why I'm not getting the help actually. Dot hide. Right. Okay. That now I'm getting the help. So I was just worried on why I'm not getting the help. Okay, that is the reason. So write string. So then write stream dot close. Right. Once this will close the file after 60 seconds. Before I close the file, I want to shut down the interval. Right. I don't want this interval to continue to run. Okay, that I will do it later. Just close the file, and I want to come out of my process.exist. Process.exit with the code say 0. Process.exit will exit from the program. Programmatically, I used control C, or I used this stop run, right? Last time. Instead of stop run, I am now going with process.exist. So process variable is the default variable that is assigned when this environment start working, when you start running the environment. Okay. So first is what I plan to do was, I created a path. First is I created this, this also, instead of, I'll comment this, copy this, put it here as a fresh, so that you know that it is there. Otherwise you'll get an error, because this path has to be there registered. These are all called packages, loading the packages. And all these packages are, when you install the node, at that time it is already got installed. I don't have to reinstall it. It is already got installed, and those packages has to be called. Once package is called, then you can use this fs.writestream, all this you can use. Otherwise, it will give an error. So initially I want to write to TFL, still it is a streaming operation. I want to give sequence of events. That sequence of events are generated using set interval. So this is in millisecond. So I generated at 5-second interval. Then I want to, this interval is forever. I want to stop that interval. So I created one more interval. The difference between this and this is, this will execute only once. Only once it will get executed, but it is a continuous, interval is continuous operation. Every 5 seconds, it will keep executing it. This is only once. After 60 seconds, I call this, and this guy will stop the write stream, and then he will come out of the program. That is the job of this timeout. Then write to file, I am calling inside the interval. That means every 5 seconds it is getting called, and this function is using the write stream as the object, and he is writing the string there, and the string is getting prepared during the interval time. So this is what one sequence of events we have done. Right, like this you can create your own way of creating your own programs and try to understand each and every concept. All these are very important candidates from the perspective of node, because there is no thread dot sleep in node. There is no sleep command, or you cannot hold the main thread. So I execute this. I'll try to execute now. So I'm not put, I have a controls console log also. If any error we have, please remember all this has to be part of try catch, because write stream is a candidate that can trigger a exception, that can trigger an exception. So all has to be in reality, in real world, it has to be a try part of try catch. So I started the function now. So printing, it has printed. You can see after 60 seconds, that means 5 seconds, 12 times after it prints 12 data points, it will come out of that file. That also we'll see now. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now the 60 seconds will get called, and it will make it program to come out of the program. So it has already done that. So after 21, it is not printed because it came out of the program. I just want to see the file now. I want to see the file. Class text, I'm just trying to open. Oh, I'm sorry, because I have not put end of the line. You can see it has printed by the side. It is printed by the side. So I'll just add end of the line here. Always the end of the line, it is better to add it at the end, so that it starts from the first line, it prints that line. Now I again starting the run. Again starting the run. I'm in the append mode, so I don't have to worry about. If I put write mode, the file is overwritten. I'm in an append mode, so it will keep appending that the same file. It will keep appending the data. Okay. So if I give some difference in time, then the last record also might have get added. So 9 over 10, 11. So by this time the file might have got closed. So I just open the file again, open with Notepad++. You can now see here it has added. So this is the streaming operation. You can put it in millisecond level. You can do it in any level you want. So I want every 500 millisecond, I can put it. This is 500 millisecond. So this is the streaming operation is done in this way. That means I'm not keep on opening the file. I'm not keeping anything in the memory. Whenever I get the data, I write it to the file. When I don't get the data, I don't write through the file. That's all. And file is opened in the append mode. That means I don't have to worry about locking the file because I'm opening the file in the append mode. That means somebody else also can open the file and take the data from that file. It doesn't matter. So this is the advantage of the stream operation. Create, write stream. Any questions, please let me know. If you have any questions, please let me know. Any questions here at this point? Very, very important. Make sure you understood this properly. There will be more exercise towards this so that you are all aware of how it all been handled in the real-time scenario. Okay. Since there is no questions, I'm moving further. If you have any questions, please write it off. Some people are raising hand. I'm not sure the reason for raising the hand. So I'm just moving ahead. Okay. Perfect. Could you tell the flow of program execution once again, sir? Okay. First is, please understand set interval and set timeout concept. First is registering. So I'll just put here last console log end of, I am in the end of line. I am in the end of line. So that means what I'm trying to convey here. First, use case, let us understand first. I have registered the path, registered the FS, this is clear. I have registered the write stream. So registered, this is registration I have done, create write stream. I put it onto this variable, this entire file. Indirectly, you imagine that the entire file is given into the object called write stream object. Right? This guy job is either write the file or close the file. So I'm writing to the file. So write to the file is there, write stream dot write, and it is writing the content of the file. That is perfect. Now, how frequently you want to write to the file? That is done through set interval. Set interval is an event registration. The word nomenclature or the technology or the technical terms that is used in Node.js, it is called event registration. Set interval is an event registration. That event is registered every 5 seconds. What is that event? This event is to call this write to file. So this event is registered with every 5 seconds. It will call write to file event. So write to file is a function. Its job, the set interval job is to call this write to file every 5 seconds. That is the job. That is what the set interval job is. And set interval is a never ending job. You cannot stop it unless otherwise you forcefully stop it. To stop the set interval, I am triggering one more event trigger that is called timeout trigger. Timeout trigger and interval trigger, the difference is timeout trigger will execute only once for the given time, elapse of time. So after the elapse of 1 minute, 60 seconds, he will trigger. What he will trigger? First is he will close this stream. That means no longer the file can be written. And then he is coming out of the program. He is closing the program as well. So both he is doing at this timeout period. So even though the code, the way the code gets executed, first 61 is called, 62 is called, 64 is called, 65 is called, 67 registers the interval, event registration, 72 registers the interval. So no actual job. It is only register the interval and this trigger time starts. And then he registers the function and now he executes this console. I am in the end of the file, end of line, right? So I save this, I run this file now. When you run this, you can now see console I am in the end of line is executed. Program has come to an end, but program is not finished. It has not come out. Why it has not come out? Because of the set interval and set timeout. These events are registered events, but still it has not finished its job. So now it is doing that job. It is printing it. So this is what the asynchronous is all about. These facilities are not available in your Java or any other modern old programming concepts. This is called event registration. This event registration is very, very important activity from the node perspective. Okay, so it is finished, almost done. 3, 6, 6, 9, 10. So almost one more. So it is all finished. So what happens is my program gets closed. After that, my program is also get stopped automatically once that is over. Okay, so if I come back to my file, if I open the file again, you can see now it has printed again. 31, 31 something is printed. So 25, after that 31, 36 we have started and it has printed this event. So that is the flow of this entire code. Any questions? I hope it is clear. W means it won't append. Yes. W if you use, it won't append. It will clear the entire data and it will keep fresh data. Just for the sake of understanding, I just make this as W. Run this again. Run this code. This time what I do is, I'll make it as 1 second. Every 1 second, I remove this control. Okay, I just come here, console log, ending the run. I just put that. Control Fs, run without debugging. Now every second it will printing, but since I removed the console log, it will keep printing every second into the file. Right, at 73 line will get executed after the event gets triggered at 60th second. 60th second, the 73 gets printed. Okay. So at the end of the 60th second, I should get ending the run message in the console log. Yet to come. What happened? Ending the run. It has come. So it has finished the job. I go back to my file. I close this. I again start that file. Open it now. You can see a fresh run. No, it has started from 11:33, 28, 29, etc., etc. It gone up to 27. It has finished. Right, every second it has printed the data. Write means it will erase the existing file and rewrite the file. No warning, etc. So you have to be careful when to use write, when to use append. For log writing and all, we generally use append. That is where this file writing, create stream and all is used heavily during log process when we are logging the data. That is why this is important. Somebody asked why we need a file system. File system is mainly used for log operation, because any programming log operation is very critical. Okay, so this is about file writing of the file. So we have seen writing of the file, we have seen write file, we have seen write file in stream operation. We have seen both. So the next important thing is, I'll copy this code for you all to refer. Now the next one is important thing is read message, read. Write file, you cannot use it in this way. For every time file will get opened, and then it will write the content, and then it will close the file. That means you have a heavy operation on the disk, because first is it has to open the file, write the content, close the file. So write file always closes the file after writing it. Write file doesn't keep the file open, whereas read stream, it keeps the file open until you give the close command. That is the difference. Okay, so that is the write stream. So we have seen today set interval, which is exclusive a node command. Set timeout, again it's a node command. These are all syntax of the node. And then we have the write to file. We pass the file to this, right? This is what it is. The next one that we need to learn is about read stream. Read stream. Read stream takes time, but I'll give you brief of what read stream will do. So let us assume that you have a huge file. You want to read the content of the file, and you want to do the process of data of that file. I want to do a processing of data on that file. So after processing, I want to, once the read is completed, I will want to close the thing. So I don't want to read the entire file because it's a huge, I said it's a huge data, like 10 GB of data, 20 GB of data, or 1 terabyte of data. I want to read. I cannot have 1 terabyte of memory. So I cannot use the read file. Read file is for smaller file, yes. But when it is a huge file, I cannot read the entire file and load it onto the memory. So as I read the content, I process the content and finish off. That means I don't need a huge memory. So that is where the read file stream is used, right? So read file stream is all about how to read the data in a sequential way. At the same time, not loading in the entire loading of the memory. So that is what we are going to see. For that, there is a project package called readline package. So this readline package is very useful package. This readline is a separate documentation is there for this package. So readline is the package that we use for reading. Once you read the data stream, once you set up the stream, event is done, then we use the readline interface. It is an interface actually. This interface, we will use it for reading line by line from the in a streaming way. It is like a movie. You are playing a movie in a browser. So the contents are coming in a stream. It is not loaded. Entire movie is not loaded onto your browser upfront. It is all streaming. It is coming. You are seeing the movie and it is going off. That means I'm not holding the memory. Maybe we call it as a buffer content. Only buffer is loaded onto the memory. Otherwise, it will just, if you are not playing it, it will get stuck. It will not even load. It will not keep loading. Unless otherwise you consume. That means you play the video, the buffer will not get increased. So buffer is maximum buffer size. It will read the content. After that, it will read. It will keep it as it is. Like that, you have here also it reads, it consumes. So this concept we'll see tomorrow. It will take a class for completing this. Okay, this will take it up tomorrow on this subject, read line. Okay, so I'll end the session in with this today. Make sure you go through this practice session. Very important, very important topic that whatever we are covering now, it is very useful when we touch upon Angular and other stuff. Thank you. Any other questions if you have, let me know. You cannot use WA. There is no WA concept. It is W or A. That's all. Okay. There is no WA or you cannot joint any mode of operation. Okay. So thank you. Have a nice day. Bye. I hope you have learned something new. Please raise your hand if you have learned something new today. Just curious questions. Okay, very few hands. Okay. Okay. So how is just type your answer in the questionnaire. How is it too fast? Is it how's the class going? Just type your feedback there. Very few. Give your comments. Okay, fine. I'm just assuming that because no other comments received, so I'm just assuming that good is good. Okay. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. I leave the practical team to take over. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.